All right, folks, this is Riversong's place. We're over at Razorwind, and we have like this really neat looking skinned house before us. Now, from the looks of it, it's meant to be a medium-sized house because like there's what is probably the door, and then there's like the side of it. But we have like this really different setup. Now, they still managed to put in fences. I like how they added a little bit of personality with the fencing. Like some of the fencing is like all thrown down and all that. We have these platform paths to kind of take us in. And then from here, you know, just this really fantastic shaping with the things, you know, thanks to the stones here. But they did keep the roof. So they kept that part intact, or at least they skinned this part here. But they left the orc housing intact here on this other end. The fencing, as it turns out, it's only covering like this whole front of the kind of the front yard. So you have that. And then as we go around, again, we see like the shaping at work. Cool stuff, but I think we're gonna go outside the fence to see more. So, or maybe it's just setting up the whole illusion. Actually, no, they did want to add some more. So they added like some extra greens all back here. The rocks help to, you know, go around like, you know, that other extension. That's neat. Yeah, really good use of the budget. It feels really filled out. I mean, it kind of helps too that there's like some stuff here that is not part of the plot, but it still adds even more to it. That's cool. Which fountain did they use? Talking about this fountain here. This one is the Zulaman Ancestral Fountain. Big piece, if you want to take advantage of that. And then as for the smaller waterfall effects, these are different fountains that might be used. So in this case, Wild Hammer Fountain. Yeah, so if you want to have like that somewhat wider effect here, and also note how bright the water is. You can see here, this Zulaman piece, much thinner, kind of wispier. Here, this is kind of like an older tech, but still like really bright. Yeah, cool. So let's head on inside. So as we go inside, the feel of it. Okay, this is kind of a cool feel because we have like these little like window settings right to the left and right of us, using doorways, beams to kind of help shape that together. Oh, cool work with a custom door. That's neat. You know, there's not a whole lot of room to work with when you first walk into the house. And so being able to fit something like this in here along with the trees and everything, you know, there's a bit of a challenge there. And this happens to work out pretty darn well. Interesting contrast because you have like the brightness that comes in here, but it still comes out really dark. It's kind of a flaw with how the lighting works with housing. Well, let's check out what's going on here to the side. So there's the boss of the house. They're just chilling, vibing and all. The build here, what does the build here say? It features a beach house, an outside party beach, a pool room, and a waterfall bedroom. And there are some passageways to check out. So we can see here, like some, you know, if we go really close, we can see some of the illusion breaking. So I'm going to stick to like kind of like this, you know, I'll stay in the middle here. Make sure we can keep the illusion up. And it looks great. You know, it has this whole feel of, you know, outside is Razorwind. And sure enough, that's kind of how that looks. Especially because we have like the you know, just the sky behind us. You know, it is supposed to, we are close to the beach. And so I don't expect to see things like, you know, mountains, hills, or anything like that. Just a bit of foliage to kind of sell that. Now, here's the opposite side, though. Notice that. So here is, we're facing inland in this case. And then here we're facing the water. So that's cool. Now, as for what's in front of us, it almost feels like the cave is like encroaching and invading on the space. And so we're going to try to like wander our way through. You know, and then all of a sudden, ooh, very cavey. You know, notice how we're in this, we're under like different lighting settings. And then ahead of us looks like an outdoor spot. So we'll go here first. You know, we're wandering through, you know, just note like you can kind of feel the sound of the water I almost want like wind to be kind of like blowing at me as we're coming out here. And then boom. Okay, and here's the beach house. Oh, that's huge. Huge beach house. It's a beach building, dude. But first, let's check out what's down here, down on the surface, or down at sea level. We got some Miss Burgles that are hanging out. And then, yeah, great, because we have this bench here. So we sit, and we have now this sort of a perspective shot. So there's like a Miss Murgle all the way back there. Hey, what's up? You know, I think we can see like what could be an island there, which, you know, I think I kind of get that. But I think there's like a rug that's, or something, some sort of object that's kind of like making things look a little funny. We might see it from a different point of view though, as we go up and inside the building. So we'll see how that turns out. But great work here though. You know, we have like some water effects down here. You know, like moving waves under this raised spot. A little bit of waterfall work. Yeah. So we'll let the Murgles do their thing. Let's climb our way up and check out this whole beach adventure. All right, so here's like this whole upper deck area. Here's the cave area we came from. Looks cool. Murgles hanging out here, and then we can kind of take a little peek inside. The spot's very filled out too. So let's go in. Ooh, this is nice. You know, for a beach house, pretty modern looking. Oh wow. Oh, you know, I really like how this just happened. You know, I go in. You know, there's that whole that middle fireplace, whole spot, hangout spot, and then we go around here, and then, you know, it feels like a TV console gaming thing kind of going on here. I like how that just pops. That seems really cool. Actually, no, it's a battle station. Check it out. So we got our tower, we got all the good stuff. We're playing WoW, basically. I remember seeing the other week or so, someone made the actual Burning Crusade starting screen. That was great. Absolutely great. Not done here, but we have other spectacles to look at instead. This I find to be pretty awesome looking. I mean, I'm just a big fan of like this whole effect. This thing is really neat. And then they just framed it with a Niffin arch, you know, threw some couches right in front of it. And now you have like this cool spot. Can we move in? Here, this Miss Murgle's like, okay, she's keeping warm, but also I think she's trying to get a tan. You know, that's what happens when you're pearl colored. She's like, well, that's one of her big things. She's like, you know, I could really do with like some extra color on my skin. Now there's an upstairs area, but first we got this whole kitchen set up. Enchanted Room is trying to keep things nice and tidy. But again, very airy place. You know, open windows and all that. Coffee being set up. And then easy on the eyes with the bench work. You know, you have your rugged, you have your sturdy bar tables, sturdy cabinets. Nice and simple. You know, nothing that's trying to be too crazy with the kit bashing. We're seeing a little bit of it with this stove setup. But again, very, very simple. You know, nothing too crazy. You just have your crates. You have some burners or whatnot for like the soups. Actually, this is like a burner, pot, and lobster. So you have a couple of things being thrown together. But that's all I need. And then out here on the gazebo, one place to sit, and you get a bit of a view. And so here again is us trying to get the view. What's unfortunate though is that I think the lighting doesn't do us any favors here. And I think that's unfortunate. Yeah, maybe that's just kind of a limitation with how the lighting in the skybox room hits a little bit different. You know, because now everything looks a little bit dark. So kind of a bummer, but don't change the lights. You're fine. You know, this is just a little bit of commentary. I don't want to make you feel bad, but no, I think the illusion works out really well from below, honestly. Even though you only get like little tiny glimpses of what's going on there, I think it pulls it off really well. So let's go upstairs now, where we have a pretty grand fireplace, another place to like chill and hang out, or sit and read, do our thing. I guess Murgles can read. I shouldn't make that kind of assumption. Shoot. And they even have a little treasure spot over in this room. Kind of unfortunate that the door had to work out like that because of the whole layout and everything. Oh, and then here, notice how, under the stairs, we have a little, enough room for potty and bathtub. Yeah, so let's go around. And then, yeah, there was check out the cabinet work that's over there. Hold on. I almost missed this. Sliding doors. Nice. And what do we have? A way to block someone. Got it. But then we also have artifacts, mysterious treasures, and all that. That's cool. That's cool. Now let's head upstairs once again. Oh, nice. Very nice. So completing the whole shape, we have like this whole slanted rooftop and a place to chill. So it's not a place really to like sleep, but definitely a place to like, if they want to do their own thing. Maybe not so much painting, but lots of reading and enjoy a little bit of quiet time. Because down here it's a bit more social. People are like hanging out doing their thing. But maybe you want to be by yourself. But still not feel like you still want the place to feel welcome for folks to come visit. Yeah, neat beach house. I dig it. Even the Murgles are happy. I'm kind of curious what this rug under the island is supposed to be. It could be a bug. It could be something that was that just wasn't rotated right, and then that looks sort of funny. It feels a little bit out of place. So, it's meant to be a shadow. Interesting. All right, so. Oh, I missed a turn. I missed a very big turn. Okay, so that was the beach house. Then we go this way, back into the whole caverny area. Nice and spacious on the cavern stuff, but also note the growth. Big greens coming out of here. They took like the palm trees and they just add a lot more to it. That looks cool though. It has this kind of feeling of like, okay, like what's above us? Like it's kind of a river that's above us, and like some of the water is just kind of like coming down. And so there's a spot that way, but let's go this way instead. Because as it turns out, it looks like this whole cave area is sprawling. There's a lot to this place. But I love how this lands together. I think, even though we have this whole kind of like square kind of shape to it, that tells me, okay, they didn't try too hard to like make this whole sprawling, windy kind of cave. It's just kind of like this straight path. I do like the presentation of it though, because you have like this whole thing of distance, and it's just neat how it all comes together. So let's keep going through the cave. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally miss a turn here. So like over there, it almost looks like the flood is about to come in and there's like massive danger ahead, but people aren't quite concerned. So let me see what is here first. So back here, you just have what looks like two big fountains that are setting this up. Yeah, two big fountains. Feels very dangerous, but no, everyone's fine. That Murgle is just like, no, dude, it's chill, relax, buddy. Let's go in here though, where we have, okay, I like the spectacle here too. This almost feels like we're underground, or we're underwater almost. That's neat. Yeah, because I think these I can't tell the color of the panels or the rugs back here because of the greenhouse. but it has like this cool illusion setup. It looks like it's outside, but it could be underwater, which I think is really neat. And then they crammed like a whole room in here. Fireplace, greens, mirrors, little vanity setup, a place for just for themselves. And who lives here? This little white Murgle. Yeah, really neat. Place is huge. It's not, and what's funny is that at least so far, it's not huge. We saw like the big Sprawling, we saw that really big beach house, and now we're turning into this cave area. It feels big because I'm obviously slow walking most of the time, but it has like a couple of like twists and turns here. And what is up here? Feels like, okay, this is just a chill stage, or not stage, but this is like kind of an underground resort. We got this might or could lead outside, but if we got Murgles that are coming in here, chilling, relaxing, we can hook ourselves up with a whole selection of wine and everything. Everything's out, ready to go. It's not even a manned station. It's like kind of like a self-serve bar. All right, so we go in here into the waters and hang out. Yeah, really cool setups that they have here. Yeah, I really dig these room vibes. Like, it's hard to tell. Like, I'm sure, as we enter like this spot, we probably entered what is probably like a square or an octagonal room or something like that. But I really like the setups. The way the shapes the way the room shapes come together, really nice. It's the difference between like, oh, does it feel natural, or does it feel like it's like carved out, or like as if someone like drilled their way through? And the answer, regardless, is it still works. Everything still lands together just fine. River, she's done amazing. No, this is a great place. All right, so went through. Just want to make sure I covered everything. Okay, no secret rooms. Cool. So have I seen all the rooms? I just want to double check. This is a lot of rocks and a lot of distance we had to cover. All right, so okay, no, we're not done. Yeah. Good, we ain't done. Okay, so now it's nighttime. Oh, okay, this looks great. Ooh, boy. Dude, are they about to summon an elemental god or something out there? Oh man, that's intense over there. Or maybe it's like the void's about to invade, which is a great vibe. Let me pan over though. I'll zoom out a bit and pan. Okay, this shot is great. Oh, that's good. I love the way that the light is dancing here. Yeah, that looks fantastic. So we come out. Oh, we came out of this huge cavern, as it turns out. Ooh, boy. And then here we sit in this little booth area. The Niffin Arch is helping to set this up. I feel like I am at the beach. I feel really captured into the vibes here. Feels like there's like a luau. Is there a table of food? Yeah, there is. So yeah, I feel like I'm in Hawaii. It's nighttime. We're at this luau. Like it suddenly like hit like memories all of a sudden. Because I remember I went to a luau with my wife when we went to Hawaii, a while back. Great time. Had a great time. I didn't get too blasted, but I had a good number of drinks. They gave us a few drink tickets, and I made sure to use them all. But for folks who want to not be exposed to too many of the elements, you have like this nice, very well lit spot right down here. Just hang out. But I think all the fun's out here, dude. All the fun's out here. It's like, yo, just grab some drinks. It's cool out, but get something. Get like some spiced wine or whatnot. or some coffee, delicious. Enjoy some refreshments, wine, foods, and all that. We got a band playing. Again, total luau vibes, yo. But now I want to get this whole perspective shot. So I feel like maybe not here. Let's see. Actually, I think I kind of like what we had right here. Yeah. So like thunderstorms are like coming in. It's almost like they're trying to summon an elemental or something like that. But then like here's like the beach. You know, water's coming in. The water's getting a little bit more intense because something is over there in the horizon. Few miles away, little islands over there. Sick.